Okay, we can create a file using the cat utility and view the file using viewer, for example, by less. But what if we need to change something? Especially if we only have a teletype interface. And it's possible. We have a so-called line editor named ED. The only interface for such an editor is the command line. We have some machinery for choose a position in file and some commands for working with text data in our file. So let's try to edit new file. At the first, we will insert some lines by command insert. And we must end our input with just one dot at the beginning of line. Let's take a look at our file, moving to the first line. Seems good. Now we can add something to the end by the add command. And let's look again. Okay, we have 3 lines in the file now. And finally, let's try to make a magic pass. This means from the first to the last line, replace the lines where we have some letters separated by a space and exchanging those letters with places. And finally, let's write and quit. Okay, let's check the result. Okay, but for what purposes can we use a line editor now that we have full screen editors with user-friendly interfaces? Of course, you can imagine a situation where your full screen environment is broken and only the line editor will be the salvation for you. And actually I had such situations in my life. But the main use case for ED is for automatic editing, which may be used in scripts. anything you need to change in text data can be done with such editor, including sophisticated regex search and replace. Moreover, we have a SED stream editor for editing text data in pipelines. As you can see, the original file does not change. All changes are simply sent to standard output, and we can redirect it to another file. But Unix-like systems also have full-screen editors, which can also be confusing for beginners. The first is the VI editor. It was developed by Berkeley student Bill Joy for BSD, initially as a visual mode for a line editor. It is a very fast and lightweight editor that is part of single Unix specification and the POSIX, which found on every Unix-like system. The VI editor works on all types of terminals and generally requires only conventional letter keyboard. You can work with it without arrow keys, page up, page down, or anything similar. There are actually very small keyboards optimized for VI, produced by some vendors. But to work on it, you need to understand the basic concept of this editor. It can be in 3 states. Immediately after launch, we found ourselves in the normal, usual command mode and can switch to editing mode. For example, by pressing the insert or just I key. As we can see, the mode status on the lower left corner has changed to insert. And now we can edit our file. Pressing insert again will change the state mode to replace. And vice versa. Exit the editing mode by pressing escape. The third mode can be accessed by pressing the column key in command mode. This is the well-known for us ED mode. In this mode, we can use the normal ED line editor commands and finish them with enter. And in command mode, you can find something with regex by slash and question marks, as in the last viewer. In the improved VI Vim, you can use very useful visual mode by pressing V. After that, you can delete the selection with D or just copy it with Y, young. Then you can paste it anywhere with P, paste. Moreover, you can use Ctrl V for selecting of vertical boxes. To exit visual mode, simply press Escape. Also, you may look to Vim Tutor, a guide to Vim that may be useful for beginners. And the second most common editor is Emacs. This Richard Stallman's editor, which was the starting point for the GNU project, along with GCC and Unix-like utilities. Emacs means, for example, editing macros. An apocryphal hacker, Colin alleges that the program was named after Emac and Bollywood's popular Cambridge ice cream store. But overall, it is a really very powerful editor with macro extensions, allowing the user to override any keystrokes to launch the editor functions. But unlike other editors that support macro extensions, in Emacs, they are implemented using the Lisp programming language embedded on editor. At the time, Lisp was very popular in artificial intelligence in the United States, and Stallman, who worked at the MIT Artificial Intelligence Lab, chose it as the editor extension language. The implementation allows many Lisp-based applications to be developed, including a user-friendly interface for developers in various programming languages. Usually, Emacs is a text editor with a simple graphical interface, but it can be run in only text environments too. The most commonly used keystrokes are Ctrl-C, Ctrl-X to exit, Ctrl-H-T tutorial, Ctrl-H-I info. If you feel overwhelmed by the difficulty of Emacs, you can consult a personal psychoanalyst. It would spoil the fun and hurt your recovery to say too much here about how the doctor works. But when you're ready, you may try to find the well-known Turing test related artificial intelligence program ELIZA on Wikipedia. Also, in the Unix Linux world, there are many other editors that may be more convenient for you, such as GUI, Nano, MCEdit, simple editors, simple text editors, or gedit, Kate, text editors from GNOME and KDE graphical user interface projects.